started already. So.
What are we doing?
Used to surprise me.
Okay, let's do Blue Velvet.
Oh, I haven't seen it in a long time.
That's fine, I saw it last night.
Go.
Hello everybody.
Hello everybody else.
My name is Darren.
And I'm Graham.
And we're going to talk about David Lynch's Blue Velvet.
We are.
Should I do the plot or do you remember the plot?
I'll have a stab, I'll have a stab.
I watched yesterday, but I could just do it.
A guy finds a finger in a field.
That's a poem. It's an ear in a field.
It's an ear in a field.
It is an ear.
He takes it to the policeman. The policeman says, "Where'd you get this? Stay away from here." From
here. Stay away from ears.
So he says,
"No, well, you're going into too much detail. Let's just say."
Well, basically, yeah. So he gets caught up with a load of like thuggish kind of people. With
that'll do.
And
well, there's a woman trapped, sort of. The ear, he decides he's going to do some of his own investigation, leads him to a woman, and as soon as he gets that woman, you get the chaos of her life that's sort of seeping in, which involves sort of nutters and psychopaths and stuff like that.
That was like a backdoor into that crazy world sort of thing. Yeah, finding that ear.
I remember commenting last night because you weren't around when I watched the film, but he finds an ear on the floor, and I thought if that was your ear, there'd be no film because nobody would find it.
Do you think a sparrow would just carry it away somewhere and build a nest in it?
I don't even think that. Maybe a snail might notice it and use it as a shell warmer.
Snails don't really do that.
Like a hat for its shell.
Yeah.
But
it's not that little. I mean, how big's this snail?
Pretty small. It's a pretty small snail.
I don't know how small it...
Yeah, you wouldn't notice that if you're walking down the road.
They're kind of on... Walking down a road... Oh, right. On the floor, you mean, not on my head.
Both, but I did mean if it was in the film. Anyway, so let's get on to...
Yeah. Talking about ears.
So, do you remember your opinion of the film before I launch into mine? Let's get your shit out the way.
Get my talking out the way.
Yeah, I'm only kidding.
I think I enjoyed it. I mean, I love Lynch in general, his films at least.
Yeah, should we talk about David Lynch for a minute and sort of set up who he is? We've not done a video on him yet.
Not one.
We haven't. And
okay.
I'm sure someone else in the world has.
Maybe. YouTube.com might have some clues towards
never heard of it.
Information.
David Lynch is a filmmaker who makes weird films like Eraserhead that are surreal, I suppose. And that they...
I suppose?
Well, yeah. I mean, some of them aren't. A Straight Story's not surreal. And the Elephant Man has, like, moments of it, but not really. So he makes sort of surreal movies with a sort of dream-like logic to the way they work.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of, not everything makes sense if you think about it literally, but it kind of makes sense if you don't. If that makes sense.
It's like, you might get a detail, but it might not follow through to what you'd expect.
Yeah, kind of like how in a dream everything makes sense. And then you wake up and you think about what you just dreamt about and you think that just was gibberish.
Not just that, but like from scene to scene, things might not make sense. Like in a dream, you might like just go through the events as if they are natural, but thinking back about them, no two kind of bits made sense together. Yeah. It's a bit like that.
I guess so.
But for a visual film sense, obviously there's some kind of narrative.
You ever had any weird dreams?
No.
Lie.
Yeah.
So that's and he has made some sort of weird films in the past, and his last film was Inland Empire, which was in 2006. Mm-hmm. And it's been too long since. He works with people. Well, but basically, Blue Velvet is kind of like the quintessential David Lynch sort of repartee. Is that the word?
Repartee?
Yeah, that's a word. Because it's got Laura Dern, who he worked with in Inland Empire and Wild at Heart. Carl McLaughlin, who he did Twin Peaks with. Mm-hmm. The music's by Angelo Badalamenti, who did the music from everything else he's done since then until Inland Empire. I'm sure there's somebody else in there who he used again. I don't know, but it's kind of an iconic role from Dennis Hopper in here.
Yeah.
But so I think. Oh, well, you didn't say what you thought. You just said you thought it was good.
Yeah, I think I thought it was good.
Yes. Okay.
It's been a while. I can't remember, but I thought I love any kind of like dream sequences or kind of like.
There's not really
surreal...
any dream sequences in it.
I know, but like the kind of the surreal scenes where
I think of all his films, with the exception of The Straight Story, it's one of his most easy to follow. Yeah. Like it's a sort of fairly normal story that's been done by a fairly unnormal person.
It's less the scenes that are the scenes are strange, but it's more the characters which are.
It's more the feel of it. Yeah. But so yes, I like it. It is about the sort of seedy underside of our society. You know, it shows like white picket fences and roses and stuff, but behind that, everyone's going mad and smacking each other in the face.
Well, that's the opening shot, isn't it?
Well, the opening shot is, well, it's that followed by the camera moving into. It shows some grass. The camera then moves into the grass, and underneath the grass is a load of insects.
Oh, yeah,
and, that's to show the sort of.
It's to represent. There's always like a dirty kind of.
Yeah, there's a sort of
always
a less pleasant underside hidden behind what looks nice on the outside, and I think that represents evil and such like. Can we talk about the end? It's an old film.
Spoiler alert. There you go.
Okay, I won't give too much. Well, I'll generally give the end away, but the end features a bird eating some bugs, which is representative of their triumph over evil, because the bugs are now being killed by the bird. Which she said earlier on. You know, she's talking about love and stuff and things about like when robins come, and at the end there's a robin eating some bugs.
All right.
So love has conquered evil.
Wow.
Yeah. Also, the film opens with or rather, like Carl McLaughlin's character finds the ear in the ground, and then the camera like pans into the ear, and then everything goes wrong for him. You know, like he meets all Frank, like the psycho Frank Booth and stuff like that. And then at the end of the film, when things have gone a bit, you know, whatever, I'm giving the end away. When he's lived and everything's over.
That's not too much of a spoiler, I don't think.
Well, it's basically, you now know that he lives.
Well, yeah, but...
Well, I did say.
It kind of... Well, yeah, okay.
You could watch this film and know everything's going to happen.
You can enjoy it
enjoy
just as good. Yeah, just as much.
Anyway, so the camera goes into the ear, and everything starts going hellish and nightmarish for him. And then at the end, the camera comes out of his ear, and he's sitting on a sunbed or something like that, just enjoying the sun, and life's good again. So it's almost like I think the film's got a kind of nightmarish quality to it, and nightmares take place in the brain, and so they go into the ear, into the brain. All hell takes loose, sort of, you know, goes crazy, and then the camera comes back out the ear, out the brain, and everything's fine again. So that's my kind of little theory.
So is that kind of also representative of some sort of like insanity or something like that?
I think it's just sort of the
Lynch's
obsession
chaos,
with dreams.
But the chaos occurs in the brain. It's nowhere else. Like, that's his interpretation. That's what he's presented.
Well, I think it is meant to be literally happening. I think it's just Lynch's way of showing it's a nightmare by having it go into somebody's in and out of the brain. I read somewhere that there's a kind of Oedipal thing going on in here as well, which kind of makes sense when you hear about it. Because, so Isabella Rossellini's character is the mum, Dennis Hopper's character is the dad, and Carl McLaughlin's character is the kid who wants to shag his mum and kill his dad. And the violence, which is basically what is happening, he's trying to sort of shag her, but clearly Dennis Hopper's got kind of power over her. And the violence that Dennis Hopper kind of puts on Isabella Rossellini is kind of like domestic abuse. And I always remember it as being domestic abuse. But then it's not, because he's not anything to do with her, he's just somebody's kidnapped their family. So that it's sort of filmed in a way that's...
It really is presented as if they're of some sort of connection, aren't they?
Yeah, but they're not. He's just a thug who's taking a family and holding them hostage.
That's weird that you say, because I remember that as if they are a couple, as if they are
No, they're not.
in a relationship.
And not only that, but then...
It was a while ago since I watched it like that.
Yeah, I'm not saying that you're an idiot.
It's
not for me to say.
Not in this instance.
But there's a bit where Carl McLaughlin has sex with her, or almost does or something, and she starts saying like, you know, hit me, so he slaps her on. Yeah. And that's kind of like, if we're going for the Oedipal thing, his way of sort of, he's seen how the dad in this has gained power over the mum, and so he's therefore trying out himself.
He's assumed that paternal figure.
Oh, he's trying anyway.
Yeah.
So there's that.
But he doesn't like it, does he? If I remember
no,
rightly.
He feels bad about it.
Yeah, I mean, kind of regret it. Like.
When I hide in a woman's sort of cupboard and then get dragged out and then somehow convince her to sleep with me and I give her a punch in the face, I tend to feel a bit bad about it as well. I think it's a human response.
Haven't gone quite as smoothly as you thought.
I don't know, they've gone pretty smoothly. They hide in a woman's cupboard and next minute you're sleeping with her with her consent.
Yeah, that's true.
That never happens.
That particular detail.
But I think that this film features my favourite version of a Roy Orbison song, or favourite scene with a Roy Orbison song in it.
It's a long list, but
well, there's that and Gummo. Gummo's second. Well, there's a version of Roy Orbison in Mulholland Drive, but it was fairly iconic. If you've seen it, you've seen it. You know the bit, which hopefully you have, because I don't want to talk about the end. So the bit where obviously in fact, the Roy Orbison song is in dreams, which is what the guy with the white face starts miming to, and everyone starts kind of freaking out and whatnot, and then it's repeated again about 10 minutes later when Dennis Hopper's punching the shit out of Carl McLaughlin. And I really like, there's a bit where... Yeah.
Speaking of the Oedipus thing.
Oh, yeah. Oedipus, Oedipal, what's the difference?
Well, it's just the context, I guess.
Okay.
He also calls himself baby and stuff like that, doesn't he?
Yeah, he says baby wants to fuck. And like when he's like chewing on her like blue velvet gown, he's saying he's just going like mommy, mommy. So yeah.
So it's all a bit messed up, really.
Yeah, and she like calls him, as in him being Carl McLachlan's character, like sort of weird things that a mum might.
Right.
Yeah, it's weird. But and in fact, there's a bit where she turns up naked at his house just as Laura Dern's girlfriend is about to beat Carl McLachlan up. And before he beats him up, he looks and sees the naked Isabella Rossellini, and he says, "Is that your mum?" So there's another little reference to it as well.
Interesting.
Well, thank you for saying something I brought up was interesting.
Well, I'm sure that you're not the first to notice that.
I'm not. I literally said out loud that I read somewhere.
Oh, there you go then. So it's not you that's interesting, it's your...
Well, it's the information that was in my head that wasn't in yours and now is. But, and that's how information gets passed around, isn't it, really?
It's not retained, don't worry.
No, I know. But, so yes.
You were going to make a point before about something else.
What was I going to say?
I don't know.
Oh, well, my favourite...
Oh, yeah, Roy Orbison.
Yeah, it's one of those films where there's like so many scenes which could be your favourite scene, like the Roy Orbison scene or the second Roy Orbison scene. But,
why are we talking about Roy Orbison?
Because he's well, I think that Roy Orbison is connected to this film.
Do you think our demographic of one person likes Roy Orbison?
Well, the demographic of one person is me, and I like Roy Orbison, so yeah.
Okay.
But there's another bit where the song Love Letter, is it Love Letters or something like that? I don't know, comes on. And that's really good as well. It feels like David Lynch's attempt at a Martin Scorsese film, like it's that kind of song. And it suddenly cuts to like gangsters having a shootout. But I just really liked it. That was my favourite bit last night when I watched it. I'm sure I'll have a different favourite bit next time.
If you could have Herzog direct any genre of film...
Herzog? You mean Lynch?
I was thinking of Herzog. I meant Lynch, I was thinking of Herzog.
Is the question still relevant to Lynch?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you could have him direct any genre of film, what would it be?
Not sci-fi, but I would like him to do whatever he wants to do. Because
it's a question. It's not like
I'm giving you my answer.
In case he sees this, I best not give anything specific in case he hates me or something. Just
no. I like Lynch when he says
disaster
most Lynchian.
films?
No, I don't want to see him do a disaster film.
Like apocalypse films.
No, I just want him to do his teen movie then, because that's basically what Blue Velvet is. It's sort of film noir. Oh, it's a kind of film noir as well. Well, it's not film noir, obviously. That was a cycle of films back in the day. It's a sort of neo noir, but with its kind of femme fatales and the sort of slightly immoral anti-hero at the centre and the mystery he's exploring. So yeah, there's lots to say about Blue Velvet, and we're over 10 minutes, so that's all I'm going to say about it.
Would you recommend it to a friend?
I've recommended it to several friends already.
Well,
you being one. Not that you remember it.
Or a friend.
That's true.
Okay, well there you go. I hope if you've watched it, then you enjoyed it.
Watched it at this
and I
point.
hope if you haven't seen it, then you shouldn't have watched it this far.
But you should now go and watch the film, and you will enjoy it and realise that I haven't really made it any... I haven't diminished your enjoyment of the film by saying what I've said. Although, really, you haven't diminished your enjoyment of the film by ignoring my warnings to stop listening and carrying on.
That's true, but you also might enjoy it more noticing the whole... the relationship kind of suggestive kind of stuff going on.
Well, I have deprived you of finding that out for yourself, I suppose.
You could miss it.
Well, yeah, I did. I read it somewhere. I don't know where. Yeah. Anyway, so bye-bye, everybody.
Enjoy.